2025 has already been a crazy year for One Piece. We literally had the flashback of Rock the Xebec and everything around God Valley and all of that. We also had Luffy going into Elbaf and even meeting Gaban and everything. So basically in 2025, we've had a lot of information on the One Piece world basically. But 2026 is going to be even crazier because there's going to be a lot more information in 2026. And just like I said, we already had a lot of information in 2025, but 2026 is about to be even more impressive. And this video is meant to see all my expectations in 2026 of One Piece. And don't forget to like your boys video, comment down below what do you think your expectations are, and subscribe to the channel, don't forget, and let's go. So in the story where we are right now, we are literally just coming back out of the flashback of Loki, King Harald, and everything that happened and transpired before and how King Harald died. And now we're getting to the juicy part. Now we're coming back to the present. The present where Luffy is right next to Gaban that are right next to Loki, trying to figure out the whole situation before they go back there and confront Gunko, then transformed into or got reincarnated into Imu or whatever. So they're gonna be fighting with that. So I'm expecting in 2026 to see some crazy fights, because this is the first time where we're gonna see the Straw Hats literally clashing with the God's Knights and aka Imu on the side too. So first of all, I am expecting Loki to get unleashed. Literally in the next 2 to 3 chapters, I'm expecting that through the whole talk and conversation that they had with Loki and everything, I believe that Loki is going to be released because of how dangerous now the situation is getting, and Gaban is going to be there like to literally say, yeah, it's time to literally get him unleashed right now, and even Hajrudin is going to approve. So from that perspective, Loki is going to be unleashed in 2026, and we're finally going to get the big reveal of how he looks like with the devil fruit power that he's got. And we're also going to see Ragnir, you know, the hammer that he's got that's able to transform into a squirrel. We're also going to be able to see that, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be here to let you know on what's going on also in 2026. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And from Loki getting unleashed and then going up to face the God's Knights and Imu and everything, boom, I am telling you, in 2026, we're going to see a fight in between Luffy and Imu, meaning Joy Boy and Imu, or Nika and Imu, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to get that fight, and we're going to get some information out of Imu, and Imu is going to say some shit during that fight, and that's going to be all information. All good for us, guys. And at the same time, Zoro is going to be facing maybe another God's Knight. Sanjay is going to be facing maybe another God's Knight, maybe Summers, because he dared to actually touch Robin and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. So just in fighting wise, we're definitely getting the Straw Hats versus the God's Knights and Imu. And at the same time, they're gonna figure out that they are not actually strong enough to maybe go against them. And that's why after, yes, the fight and something happens and they win the fight and all of that, and after that, they're going to probably go and train with Gaban, or maybe with Loki, or maybe with other, or maybe Shanks that might show up. You never know. But I'm expecting the Straw Hats to actually train a little bit in Elbaf before they leave, because I'm also expecting 2026 by the end of it to be the end of the arc of Elbaf basically. And if they need to leave, they need to leave a little bit with more powers, you know. So for example, I'm expecting Zoro to have Conqueror's Haki and, you know, being able to fully use it, not the same as Luffy, but close, like getting there, you know. Or for example, like really level, for example. I would love to see Zoro at that level already. Or maybe he might be already in there. Let me know down in the comments below, guys. But, or for example, Sanji can actually get into the Conqueror's Haki as well himself, you know? And just like we saw Goldie Roger with Rayleigh and Gaban that were all able to use the Conqueror's Haki, maybe it's gonna be the same case for the Straw Hats, and maybe more of the Straw Hats need to actually use the Conqueror's Haki. So that's why I'm saying Sanji actually needs also that power up until the end of Elbaf, for example. And another person that might have that might also need that power up is Jinbei. Jinbei is already strong enough, but he might literally start to have some Conqueror's Haki at the same time too. You never know. Just like, for example, one of my favorite characters that I would love for him to actually have some Conqueror's Haki is Usopp. Usopp has been lying through his teeth since the beginning of the story, but every lie actually turned up right. So do you still call him a liar, or just a observation haki from 20 years and stuff like that? Like, he can see the future for so long, and he can literally see the future and tell you from the future what he saw or something like that in a dream. Maybe. But Usopp, I'm expecting a lot of him by the end of this arc of Elbaf, because it's all about how brave and all of that, and we are there, you know? So we expect Usopp to have his moment, and we want Usopp to be strong, maybe even pick up Ragni or go against somebody, you know? When it comes to other characters like Brook, Chopper, or even Frankie, yes, they can also have an upgrade. Maybe not Conqueror's Haki, but they can have an upgrade in their devil fruits, or in some kind of mechanism, or in their weapons or something like that. Like, something can happen to actually make them stronger a little bit more after the arc of Elbaf, you know? But to actually get all the way to the end of Elbaf and everything, they literally have to deal with Emu and the Domi Reversi, and how Dory and Broggy got turned into devils and everything. So we need to know what can happen to actually Domi Reversi them back to normal in a way, because since Emu showed up and made the pact with the giants to turn them into devils, basically with the Domi Reversi, there is a theory out there that with the same powers that Emu used, maybe Nika, being the opposite of Emu, can use the opposite powers to whatever Emu used, meaning the Domi Reversi, and maybe instead of being called the Domi Reversi, it's going to be called the Dawn Reversi or something like that. And that's one of the powers that Nika / Joy Boy / Luffy has, maybe. And also about this Domi Reversi, as soon as they are actually devils on the battlefield, those devils are actually able to turn more people into devils. So do I categorize that as Emu's power still? I don't think so, but I think that by maybe turning other giants and other giants and other giants into devils, I think that their powers are getting weaker and weaker and weaker. That's why with the more numbers, they actually just numbers, and you can actually defeat them pretty much easily, just like you can defeat a giant. So maybe that's gonna be another case too. But after all of that fighting and all of that, something is gonna happen. I don't know what. Maybe Luffy will tap on into some very powerful Conqueror's Haki from the old days, or something from Joy Boy. Maybe. And that's what's gonna make the whole difference at that point, and help them save the whole country of Elbaf and everything. But through it all, the giants will actually know everything about their god, Nika, Joy Boy, Luffy, whatever. They will know all about Emu. They will know about the devil in this world, because they would have experienced it. They will also know about what happened with King Harald. They will also know about Loki and everything. Are they gonna trust and just easily forgive whatever happened in the past? I don't know, maybe, but by at least knowing the truth, they would actually be able to make a concrete decision at that point, and maybe Loki will regain all of his status at that point in Elbaf, hopefully. And also I wanted to talk about the last red poneglyph, because Eiichiro Oda himself said that this year we're gonna see the man with the mark, the man that got burnt and got a mark on his body, basically. And from the same perspective, if we see him, then we're gonna see the red poneglyph. And when we see the red poneglyph, we're gonna Robin basically is going to be able to pinpoint all four, and now we can actually get to the One Piece. And also that will set up the final war of One Piece as well, because by Joy Boy actually getting there, I believe that as they show up to the One Piece, they discover everything and they understand everything. Now is when the final battle is going to start. That's what I believe. Let me know what you guys believe in the comments down below. And if I'm wrong about this, let me know down in the comments below. At the same time, we're also going to see other people moving around the world of One Piece. For example, some of the other Yonkos. You've got Blackbeard. Blackbeard is not sitting down. Blackbeard is literally ready to go wherever he is. And he's collecting devil fruits left and right. And he's also getting himself ready and set in front of Marie Joie with his number 2. That's literally right there, spying on Marie Joie and spying on the movements of Dragon. Because Dragon, I believe also, he's going to start moving. He's not going to start like literally the war with the world government and everything. But since we already know that he stopped all the food that's going to Marie Joie, now maybe he's gonna be up to phase 2. Phase 2 is gonna be maybe disrupting the regular life of the celestial dragons somehow else. For example, Dragon, he's gonna be doing some movement in 2026, and lately we've been seeing him move left and right, you know? So that's why I'm saying 2026 is gonna be a big year for literally every character in One Piece, because that's what's gonna set the future of One Piece as well. Other characters like Shanks, for example. Shanks is already on the move. He already knows what's going on and what's gonna happen, and people characterized him as a mastermind because he went to Marie Joie to see what's going on and everything. But don't forget, he literally escaped and he let his arm get eaten basically so that the mark disappears. Does it still say that Emu still can like control him or something? I don't know. Maybe if he gets close, way too close to Marie Joie, maybe he can get control at that point. But if he's too far, then he does not. But Shanks is definitely on the move, and we're probably gonna see a lot more from Shanks in 2026. Just like Buggy and his crew. Buggy with Crocodile and Mihawk, I'm probably saying that in 2026, we're probably gonna see them going crazy in the new world, trying to actually get to the One Piece themselves. Because that's what Buggy says, and that's the resolve he's got. And I totally believe in Buggy. And if he makes it before Luffy, I wouldn't even be mad, you know? But on that note, guys, this was my all expectations about the world of One Piece in 2026. You guys let me know what do you think about this video down in the comments below. What do you think your expectations are in 2026? And we'll talk about it, you know? On that note, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.